Happy Wednesday. We are live. Let's see here. We need more light. Ooh, that's not good light. Maybe we need it like that. How are you doing, Nettie? Why is my chat not showing up over here on my big screen? I need my big screen. I was all set, I thought. Let's see. Maybe this will help. All right. Hey, little gypsy. All right, now the chat seems to be working fine. Okay. Whew. I'm doing good. I'm having a good day. It was a good last couple of days. The sound is gone. Whoops. You are correct. No, that one's fine. So my sound should be back. Is my sound back? Okay. Yeah, I had to come back on. I don't know. I zigged when I should have zagged for the second time today. So hope you guys are all having an awesome day. Hey, Mona. I'm gonna have a playtime today. Hi, Debbie. Yeah, I accidentally hit the wrong screen when I meant to move to my chat. Oops. There have been a lot of technical difficulties. I'm going to try an experimental live stream later, and I hook some different things up to see if I can switch to using my phone and not have it, see how long I can go before it overheats. So I am just going to play with some goodies here, doing various things. I had a good talk with myself recently and kind of made some plans. So I'm going to be doing some more, oops, that goes over here. I'm going to do some of my little spirit sticks, and I'm going to do some of my clusters, and I'm going to do some little things with my wool. I just sort of want to get ahead of the game. And I kind of I've been trying to figure out how to be able to be here with all of you and yet at the same time get stuff done that's important to me. And I think part of that is going to be using this time here to make some stuff. Hi, Arlene. Because I have this idea. I'm going to do the regular journal kits, but I'm also going to do some nature kits. Hey, Margaret. So I figure why not use the time that I'm here with you guys to just sort of pull some of these pieces together. Almond fields. Oh yeah, where we used to live at our last house, there were almond fields there before us. And you lived in McFarland, California. I'm not sure where that is. Is that Southern California? I grew up in Concord, California, and we had almond trees there. Not an orchard, but we had 4 or 5 trees. We had almonds and walnuts, and we used to knock them down and crack the nuts, and my grandmother used to sell them to the local bakery. So what kind of things are you guys working on today? And thank you, by the way, thank you for all the wonderful support you gave me on the recent video. I really appreciate that. So I actually cleaned off 2 desks yesterday. After the live, I'm going to go clean off the studio, the big island in the studio, and then I will have room to spread some things out. So this is just some little dried grasses from the yard, and I just kind of want to. Near Bakersfield. Okay, I used to go down to Bakersfield for skating competitions many, many, many moons ago. What else do I want to put in here? Hey, Elisa. Finishing your coffee. I had 3 cups of coffee today. It was so good. Fussy cutting for February large. You don't have sound? Does everybody else have sound okay? Mona, you muted me, huh? Who's doing the February large? Oh, you might be a little bit behind, Mona. I had a technical goof up on my part. So the February large, I can't even say that correctly. Who's doing that? Is that like posted somewhere, Debbie, that we should all know about so we can go check out? All right, I don't want to cover. How do I want to do this? Drying a large stack of tea-dyed paper today. It sat in a stack all day yesterday and over. Ooh, nice. I have my 2 trays on the kitchen table. Bless my husband's heart for not minding me taking that over. And I keep dumping stuff in there. I just put a bunch of envelopes in to soak. Edinburgh Collage Collective. Okay, it's on Instagram. Okay. To go check that out. You're doing some great things with your mood board colors. And I will tell you, I'm going to go, like I did last week, I'm going to go an hour and a half because that really seems to work well for me last time. So I didn't put a whole lot in, and I put all that wool in and took it out. And one of the things that I'm learning lately to remember that I don't need nearly as much as I thought I do. Frozen their dyes. Hi, Janet. I freeze my leaves. I have not frozen the dyes, but I seem to remember, I think it was Catherine Giligio. I cannot pronounce her last name. I think she talks about freezing them. I know a lot of people put them in the refrigerator. I add vinegar and salt to mine. I've also heard you can add essential oils so they don't go bad. You bought a tea sampler to dye paper. Ooh, soft pastels. Soft pastels, you might also like, if you can get some Easter egg dyes, that might work too. You might just really delete it. Hey, Victoria, sidetracked by videos of the 6th form college that he's moving to soon. Oh my goodness. Does he want to do the art program? Is that something that interests him? I mean, I don't see why you couldn't. My freezer's so caught up with leaves right now. I really need to get them out of there. Hi, Marie. Welcome. Yeah, I ended up having to order mine online a couple years ago when I did it because I wanted it at a time that the Easter egg dyes weren't out yet. Let's see, what other, you could do turmeric will give you a really bright yellow, so you could really dilute it. Oh, first time catching the live. Well, welcome. We just kind of hang out and chat about whatever's coming into our heads. Although, oh, I wonder if I still have my questions up. I had questions for you guys today. I did. Yeah, there we go. I want to know. Oh, he loves art and he's very good at it. He just lacks the confidence. Well, gee, then he's a real artist just like the rest of us, because that confidence thing, that's hard. Which is a wonderful segue into my question. I want to know what people are struggling with regard to your creativity. What are your struggles? Part of mine is definitely self-confidence. And part of mine is doing things that are not the norm. And so feeling like, I'm outside of the acceptable stuff, which is so silly. Yeah, confidence, I know, right? All right, there's one little stick thingy done. Let's see, where am I going to put the ones that are done so we can look at them at the end of the day? All right, let's do something with some colors. And I don't struggle as much with techniques. Like yesterday, I did some experiments with a technique that's not something I normally do. And, I had fun. It was like totally outside of my comfort zone. I'll do it again. Whoops. But I had to, I don't mind trying new things and stinking at it for a while. Ideas coming in and not knowing what to focus on. Yeah, time management is a real big one for me. I transferred so many things from, like, literally I had a foot tall stack of notebooks, and I transferred all my ideas and all my to-dos and everything into Google Docs. And now I'm putting them back into notebooks because I realize I don't like electronic docs. But now I have 3 notebooks. I have one for YouTube, one for Etsy, and one for everything else. Time management is just really, it's tough. Anybody got any tips for time management? Please share them with us. Nope, don't like that. The pink needs something. And turning them into something that works. Well, if you're process driven, then it doesn't matter whether it works or not. If you're, in project driven, then yeah, you kind of stress out until something works out. Lisa says, Da Vinci and Einstein thought outside of the box. Yep, you are right. You are correct. Midge is still struggling with starting a slow stitch project. I don't know why. I can put papers together, but putting the fabrics and laces together are different. Do you have a place where you can lay them out and just kind of walk by them every so often and, put one in and take one out? Because I'll do that. I'll look at this and I'll pull these out and I'll think, no, I don't like that with that, but maybe I like it with this, and I'll start just kind of auditioning things. And I might have something sitting on my desk for a week or two, sometimes longer, as I try to decide, what I'm going to use and how I'm going to use it. Struggle with doing the same thing over and over again, said Janet. Sometimes it's like I already used that tangle or design or that kind of tag. Yeah, I think that's a real struggle for me as well, thinking, I'm repeating myself, especially since, I love doing the nature journals. And there's, not that there's only limited things you can do, but you don't see a lot of examples. And I know, my next few videos won't be showing any video book flip throughs because I want to show that I can do more than just that. Well, Midge, we all make things harder than it is, don't we? I mean, I cannot be alone. I'll look at this and I'll say, okay, like I had not even thought about stitching this, but now I absolutely love that on there. And I might try a piece of lace and I might think that's just it's too white, it's too something. Find projects that don't work out. Do eventually find a place, even if they are broken up and reused. Rarely do things get totally binned. You're right, Margaret. I absolutely agree. This thing that I did yesterday, I was playing around with some sketching and some watercolor. And watercolor is not something I've done much of at all. Like I can count on one hand. Yeah, my voice is weird today. This is just my voice. And, I'm not going to use it for what I thought I was going to make it for, but I'm going to use it for something else, I'm sure. Time management is tough, Nettie. Somebody told me or suggested to me that I try doing just making a list of 3 things every day that I wanted to get done. And so that's kind of where I'm heading in that direction. Okay, I like that together, and I like that, which means I need my needle, but that is too thick of thread. I want really thin thread. I did not bring over any pink thread. I guess that will work. Gina, hello. Gosh, I haven't seen you in so long. Are you all settled in your beautiful new house? Crafting up a storm? Elisa, finding things in general, recycled or alternative things to do. Yeah. And then we fall down the rabbit hole, right? We're doing all these, we look on Pinterest, we look on YouTube, and we get all these great ideas. And then we forget we have to, stop looking at ideas and then go make the stuff. I finally told myself I can only look at Pinterest just before going to bed, because that's when, and then I can let my brain work on that kind of stuff while I'm sleeping. See, that's still too much. You buy a little bit of wool roving and it goes for a long time, but I want to add one more little bit of brown. Yeah, I can't do big lists, but if I put just 3 things on the list. Hey, Maria, welcome. Happy to have you join us today. Let us know where you're located and what you're working on. And we're talking about what we're struggling with creatively. Where are your struggles? For a lot of us, it's time management. And I'm looking at myself in the mirror there. Priority list is your savior. You just put your to-do list, the important things to get done. The rest is play it by ear. Yeah. So I'm kind of doing that. I'm leaving my big ideas in the big books. And then I'm just, for a to-do thing for the day, I'm just putting those 3 on a little Post-it note. Elisa says, I didn't have the fancy glossy accent, so I use puzzle saver glue that works like glass when it's thick. Oh, that's very clever. What a great tip. Let's see here. Nettie, with your painting is the challenges. I don't have some of the needed colors to finish my idea. Well, then you need to go watch some videos on mixing paint, because if you have your basic colors, you should be able to mix most of the stuff that you want. Gina is very settled in a brand new house and have started crafting again. Yay. Oh, ouch. Kidney stones. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you would not be able to do a whole lot of much of anything while that's going on. Oh, Victoria, thank you. I'm glad you liked Nature's Whisper. It really was a celebration for me to do that book and feel like I found pieces of myself that I knew some stuff was missing, but I wasn't quite sure what it was. And I'm not even going to try and put it all into words again, but I really was trying to figure out where I fit in my own creative mind. And the journal there, the book, it's not a journal. The book just really helped me do that. Oh, from Holland. Okay. You just happened to see the live. Well, that's great. Do you do junk journals, or what kind of art interests you, Maria? Yeah, I hope you'll check out the videos. And those of you that are in the Facebook group, thank you. If you're not already in the Facebook group, I hope you'll come join us over there. It is low key, low pressure. Let's have fun and share and support one another. Gina, thank you. Hey, Penny, good morning. Yeah, we added the face thing not too long ago, and that seemed to be a hit. So I'm glad to be able to do that. That was an easy thing. Penny, you're right. Nature's Whisper is my groove. I just really found where I wanted to be. I want something else in there. Tea bag rolls now. Oh, good. You need black. Okay, so mix of 3 primaries. Plenty of blue might work. I've done that with dyes. You can also try, depending on how dark you need something, if you've got your coffee or tea, just keep reducing it and then add to that. Penny, what are you working on lately? Nope, don't like those. I thought I was going to want that. Some of these I just, oh, you know what I didn't add? I didn't add any of my little jute that I love so much. Let's just add a little bit of that in there. Mixed media of all things. Hey, Lorna, how you doing? Did you guys see Lorna's beautiful Edith Holden journals? Oh my goodness. She sold them all, but they are amazing. Mixed media is fun because there's no rules, right? We just do whatever the heck we want. Yeah, Nettie, I think for you really, some basic paint mixing videos would really be a good thing. He went directly. Yeah, I did the same thing, Janet. I went to Etsy and July was gone. I was like, up. You're working on a garden now. Oh, you just finished the teddy bear one. Is the journal up on the teddy bear one? You're getting faster, Penny. How are you doing that? I want to get faster. Okay, I don't want to get, well, I sort of want to be faster. I shouldn't worry about being faster, but sometimes I really want to be faster. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Debbie's giveaway journal. Oh, Kip's Corner. If you have not seen that, you need to go check it out. I already lost where I put my other finished one. Oh, well. Well, I'm looking at this that we did here chatting with Arlene, and now I want to do the blue. I want to do something with the blue because that just looks like it all belongs together. Margaret, you can still go see Lorna's videos to see how pretty they are. She just does such beautiful work. Gone to Canada. Ooh, exciting, Penny. All right, let's see. And of course, did I bring any blue thread over? No. Oh, I've got some beige here. There we go. I wanted stuff that was thinner. Nettie, you know, I think some of that stuff from school, it disappears from our brain until we need it again. So don't stress on it. Just, you know, a lot of it will probably come back to you when you go watch a few of the basic videos. Arlene said, got too far away from what I love doing, all the different crafts you saw other crafters doing and made yourself dread the craft room. But after reading your own journal and figured it out, you're fixing it. Yes, yes, you do you. And I don't know why we all, myself, I'm talking about me, have such a hard time accepting that doing ourselves our way, even if we don't see anybody else doing something like that, you know, is the thing we should be doing. What am I? Hi, Jessica. I'm just making little scrappy clusters, nature clusters. I use them a lot in my books and journals. And so these are just little bits that I gather up, either, you know, scraps of fabric or grasses from the yard. Let's see which camera I'm at. Grasses from the yard. I've got some twigs and bark. And so I just want to use this time to kind of work on these. Terry, are you painting? Yeah, clusters, you know, it's funny. I used to struggle with paper clusters, and then these just seem to kind of fall into place for me. So I think it's a matter of playing around, and I've got these wonderful little plastic containers that I can keep all my bits and pieces in, and they're in my rolling cart. So that this is sort of my go-to, where someone like Janet goes to Tangles. She always, has got a pen handy where she can doodle and sketch like that. I tend to go to my fibers and threads and fabrics and stuff from the garden so that I can do something with that. Let's see. I like this rest with it. I need to move my, let's see, where did I put my little stuffs? Oh, there we go. All right. And what do we want with that? Do I have any blue? Got some blue. Some blue. What else color do we have in there? Maybe some gray, some black. It's a tiny, tiny bit of black. I don't want to overwhelm it. And what I love about these is there's no planning. It just sort of comes out as it comes out. And I don't need to try and make it be something that it's not. Yeah, I love doing the little save the threads thing. These little guys, I'll do some of those today too, I think. This one's covered with dog hair. What a surprise. All right. Does it need anything else in here? And sometimes I don't worry about trying to think about these as being finished. I want to get one layer done. And then when I see what book they're going to go in, then I may or may not add something else to it. So let's see, where's my other list of questions? I had more questions for you guys. I'm going to put a survey up, but this is a good start. So this is kind of the same question. What is the one thing you feel like you need to overcome your struggle, the struggle that you're having with your creativity? What is the one thing you feel like you need to overcome in order to deal with that struggle? It's a toughie. I need to, I probably need to quit listening to voices in my head. Did I put a knot in that? I did. That's probably the biggest thing for me, is if I quit listening to the voices in my head and instead listen to the voices of the people that support me. Oh, I like this. See, now this, who was having trouble with it? Was it Midge or Arlene? Midge was having trouble with trying to figure out what to do what. This was just accidental, just playing this out here. And I absolutely love this combination. I'm really trying to push myself outside. Hey, Lori, how are you? Happy to see you here today. Hope you are having a great Wednesday. Oh, you're working on those journals you found. Oh, that's good. What a bonus, right? To be cleaning up and find 3 journals already that far along. You are so right, Elisa. Watch a couple Bob Ross painting sessions when you're feeling low, and you will feel like you can do anything. It's amazing to have that sort of an effect on people, right? Just wow. Boy, this one doesn't want to focus very well today. Huh. I guess I can always hold them up to the iPad. Next week, we should have a different setup with even better focus. Oh, Zoe is saying hello to everybody. I'm guessing somebody is walking by her window. She lays at the patio door there in my studio, and she can just see the tops of heads of people going by. Oh, thank you, Lori. It was fun to do a premiere. I had never done one of those before. So thanks to everybody who hung with me while that was going on. That was, I think, the next time I have a completed book, I might do that again, because that was a lot of fun. And next time I won't yak so much at the beginning. I will save the yakking for some other videos. See, and that's how simple a cluster can be. It doesn't have to be hard. We tend to make everything so much harder than it has to be. Everything. And I'm speaking to myself here, not just you guys. Need to trust the process and go with the flow. Absolutely, Debbie. Yeah, I am really trying to do that, to be more process minded. Warm enough to dry your papers fast for you today, Margaret? Gadgety Mouse, hello. Welcome. Glad you made it. How are you doing? What are you working on today? Penny's cleaning up space. I did that last night and it felt so good. I took some time out to make a few experiments. Played with some watercolors, played with some sketching, played with some alcohol inks. There may be some videos coming. And I'm going to clean some more after this. Yeah, it was kind of fun to be able to chat. I think it would have worked even better had I had a longer book so that you would have been seeing more pages while we were chatting. So that's something for me to keep in mind for the future. Hey, Sherry, how you doing? You having a good Wednesday? Oh, Gadgety Mouse, I'm sorry. I try. I don't always catch everybody, but I really try because I know when I first started going to lives a few years ago, I felt really like I wasn't one of the cool kids when people didn't acknowledge me when I came in. Debbie says, I need some help with alcohol inks. I can't get them to spread much. What kind of a surface are you using them on, first of all, Debbie? And the video that I'm going to show on Monday will show you my goof ups with alcohol inks. So one of the things that I do is I put alcohol or blending solution on the paper first, and that does help them spread. Also, more paper, more ink on the paper or whatever the surface. I was trying to be very stingy with mine and realized that I didn't have to be. Penny, that's it exactly. It's hard to be creative when you're surrounded by a mess and you can't find what you need. That's sort of the thing that started me going. Plus, it's hard to even want to create because it's like, do I really want to make more of a mess? You just go right ahead and multitask away, Victoria. I don't like that combination here. I need something else. Yupo paper. I have not done anything with Yupo paper. I have some Dura Lure, I guess I just bought. I haven't played with it yet. I'm going to play with that later today. That's supposed to be like the Yupo. But I do think putting down some blending solution or alcohol first, and then I was not putting a whole lot on the paper. And so the more I put, like I was trying to do too many little things. Okay, I'm not liking this at all. Wow. Thank you, Margaret. I'm glad you like the book. Let's see what else on the alcohol ink. Shoot, I will have to find the link and I'll post it in the group. But there was a gal I watched that something I had not thought about, which was diluting the inks. So there was a lot more out because the color is so concentrated, and she made multiple colors by diluting it. So there's a lot of liquid to get on the page. But I was amazed at by putting blending solution down first, what a difference that made in how stuff would spread. Can you make Archival ink smooshable by spraying them with alcohol instead of water as they're waterproof? Huh. I don't know. That's a good question. I think that's a video that you need to try. Experiment for us. Hey, Maria, how you doing? Are you unpacked yet? Settling into life in your new location on the other coast? Gina is laying down your first batch of handmade recycled paper. Oh, good. Good, good, good. Not stressing. Don't stress. We don't like stress. Gadgety Mouse, I set up my system in such a way that I have the chat so I'm pointing right in front of me. And I have a second monitor set up there so that I can see the chat. Why am I not liking this? Something is not right. Does it want a twig? Maybe it wants a twig. And so it's on a big screen, so I have a little bit of time for the chat to go by. It might want to stick on there. Where do you get the alcohol? Yeah, the alcohol is hard to find right now. At least over here. I don't know about for you, but to get the heavy proof, like the 91 proof, my husband lucked out one day at the drugstore, I guess it was, and was able to grab some. So pharmacy, or whatever you guys call it. I forget what you guys call it. Terry soaking printer cartridge in alcohol. Yeah, that's another great way to reuse your inks. So waiting on jobs. Oh, good. Hopefully that all falls into place for you. People, something is not right with this, and I don't know what it is. Something is bothering me. Chemist, that was the word I was looking for. Thank you. Yeah, Amazon for a while. I haven't looked recently because I've got a big bottle of the 90, I think it's 91%. But it was ridiculously priced when the pandemic really first took off. This is my favorite thing to do, this little bits of jute string. You can also do this with yarn. If you just keep pulling it apart, even the cheap worsted yarn, you can get a really neat fuzzy effect. Hydroponics store. Oh, see, sometimes that's good to know the different places you could go to buy some of these materials. Seal it with a very light touch of micro sealer. What's a micro sealer? They make a clear shoe polish wax? Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, you should seal your alcohol ink stuff if you're going, depending on, what kind, like if you're doing dangly kind of things that are going to get, be out and not hidden in your book. Well, not hidden, but you know what I mean. All right, is this the missing link? Is this what it needed? A little bit of something longer. That's true. Hand sanitizer is mostly alcohol. I haven't tried that. And I've used the other alcohol. Sometimes it makes a difference. Sometimes it doesn't. Yes, isopropyl. That word that I can't say is alcohol. These husbands, they come in handy for that kind of stuff, huh? All right, I think there's still too much wool. See, I'm being real finicky about this, but it's okay because I'm not in a rush to finish this. I'm just going to let it evolve. So this is something where bye, Maria. Happy to see you in here, even briefly. No worries, Elisa. All right, I'm liking this better. It needed a stick and it needed some long fuzzies. Wow. You got a bargain, absolute bargain. Wow. Yeah, my husband's going to have to go to the pharmacy. I need to, every time, he goes to a couple of the stores that we know carry it, I always ask him to look for it. Yep, it just needed a little bit of something, some more. I think it needed to be more balanced with the length. I just love the fuzzies. Hand sanitizer gel works great for cleaning glass mats. That's good to know, because we have a lot of hand sanitizer. We bought a bunch when stuff really took off, and we don't go anywhere. I mean, and people don't come to us. So we've got like 3 bottles of it sitting there. I never even thought about using it for cleaning off the glass mats. So, of course, when I go to put this in a book, I might add a stone. I could add a piece of metal, some dangles. I don't know. Micro distress glaze. Oh, okay. So a Tim Holtz product. Yeah, that makes sense. So many experiments. I did like 5 experiments yesterday, which means those are 5 videos that'll be coming, because I'll do them again now that I played with them and decided what I could do with it. And I have all these other experiments I want to do. I love having a head full of ideas, even if sometimes I get frustrated and I'm not sure what to do next. This always happens on the back. I always have something that didn't get pulled through enough, because I'm working with threads that are way too long. All right, let's see my other list of questions here. What do you want to learn? What do you want to learn? Hey, Barbara, you made it. How was your other class? Plastic printing is often alcohol-based and will rub off. Yes, that's why you really need to seal it. Hey, Piro. Happy to see you here. Let's see, is it evening or morning for you? All right, that one, I'm going to call it done. Okay, got a little bit of thread left, so let's do something else that we stitch. One more time of stitching. What do we got in here that's calling to me? Well, green, right? Because green is always calling. Mostly how to cut straight. Oh, well, I don't. I don't cut straight, and I'm not going to worry about it anymore, because I got a rotary cutter to help me cut straight, and I still can't cut straight. So late evening in Germany, but you have tomorrow off. Nice. Oh, Debbie, that's one of the things I've got coming up with the jelly plate. I love my jelly plate. And I cleaned off the desks on purpose so I would have more time to play with it. Thank you, Barbara. I appreciate the kind words. The printing rulers on certain mats. Oh, I see, Gadgety Mouse. So, Victoria, this was for you. She says the printing rulers on certain mats may be alcohol-based and may rub off if you try to clean with alcohol. Jessica just tested the Archival ink smooshing. It didn't work for me. Used an alcohol block or acrylic block with Archival ink on top, then dropped 90% alcohol. Yeah. Good to try. Good to try. Not every idea works out. What you could probably do is make some sprays with any of the reinkers you had from that Archival ink. Thanks, Terry. Yeah, appreciate any likes for this video. I know time just disappears when you're doing the jelly plate, right? The reason I know to stop is because my shoulder starts to hurt really bad. It's like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's right. I forgot. You got one of those glass mats. That was very clever. Okay, now that I want green, I don't have any of the greens out. Well, doggone it, Susan. What's going on here? Nope, don't like that one. I think I purposely filled this with not greens just to make me stretch outside my comfort zone. Arlene says, I want to relearn French knots. I thought I found a workaround using tape to replace my non-working hand. The knots look good, but they come undone later. Suppose you could always add a little dollop of glue at the underneath, maybe? Lorna, you're a pretty good worker. And you're a pretty good listener, at least for me. Margaret, you mean we're supposed to use up all the ones we already have before we make something new? Well, that's not going to happen, at least not for me. All right, if we do this, I think I want another stick. Maybe we want these 3 sticks in there. And we do some long fuzzies. It does make me wonder what else you could water it down with to sort of... Is it that you have a lot of the alcohol ink or a lot of the archival ink pads and you're trying to do some smooshing? I should put a knot in here first. You just need some more. Okay, Margaret. Yeah, water didn't move it at all. I'm not surprised. Yeah, I tend to save my archival inks for stamping on pages or stenciling on pages. Let's see. All right, I want something else. Maybe some threads, huh? Not those threads, some different threads. Some green threads. What do we got? Ooh, a bead in place of French knots. There's an idea for you, Arlene. Would that work? Well, now you can't even see the little one behind it. Too much. Always too much. Then I ended up pulling it away. Hey, Julie. Happy to have you here today. Hope you're having an awesome Wednesday. There's my first awesome of the day. Now it's going to be in my brain and everything will be awesome the rest of the day. Delusion colors are now available in Archival. Oh, that's going to make a lot of people happy, huh? All right, not liking this. Not liking this. I think it needs some variety. Maybe something at the back, something darker at the back or lighter, but different. That sort of helps. Let's see if we can fray this. Hey, Terry. How are you doing today? You need an awesome day. Too much to take care of. Yeah. Well, we can make every day awesome, right? I think it's just about how we're thinking about the day. In a lot of cases, at least for me, I can only speak for me. It's, my day becomes more awesome when I let myself think about all the wonderful things going on in my day. I haven't looked at any of the delusion stuff for a long time since I, a couple of years ago, accidentally bought like the same delusion spray 3 times. So I've got a lot of stuff to use up. My whole studio is filled with stuff that needed to be used up. Okay, let's see. I love making it all ratty. All right, we want that behind, so then maybe this needs to be a little shorter, which will give me another little bit. And there's a not straight edge. Bye, Debbie. Have a nice evening. 4 signatures for each of the 3 journals. Wow. You had a lot that you had forgotten about there, Terry. Perio, I really still want to do the challenge. I have not started that yet, but I do want to do the challenge. I think it's a great idea. All right, so that's a little bit rattier. That helps. And I want something kind of dark in the center. So my tip from doing all of these today is to tell you guys, don't be in a hurry. It doesn't have to be a race to get, I don't have to get 50 of these done by the time I finish today. I just need to have a good time working while I'm chatting with friends. Smushy, juicy inks are important to us, right? Shredding all this, or fraying, whatever, these little things. Now I'm going to have even more great threads underneath. All right, now I'm going to go back to my long fuzzy. Yeah, all the fabric that I'm using is fabric that I have dyed in a variety of different ways. So I've got videos coming up on that probably in a couple weeks, because I'm going to do it very methodical for you guys so you can see all the different versions that you can come up with. All right, so it needs something dark. And they're just little scraps. Whenever we're doing something with stitching, we always have these leftover scraps, and it's just a good way to use them up. There's my 3rd twig. And a lot of the dyeing that I do of fabrics is using whatever's left over, whether it's on a plate after smushing, or, paint water where I've soaked my brushes. Maybe this one doesn't want to stick. Maybe the stick doesn't want to be there. Let's put a little bit of green on top. There were a lot of groups of 2 yesterday, so you rounded out the groups. Okay, so yeah, you've got a lot of work ahead of you then, because when you get all the signatures together, then you get the fun part of decorating everything, right? Ooh, you've got a lot in a blueberry bath. Nice. I'm going to try and we've got wild blackberries that grow around here, and we always have to rip them out. So if we get berries on them this year, I'm going to try and save the berries so I can make some ink from them. Oh, the fuzzy stuff? The fuzzy stuff is this. It's just a roll of twine, jute, and I just cut it into pieces and then tear it all apart, and you get these wonderful little, let's see if I put it over here, you get this wonderful little fuzzy stuffs. And then this is wool roving. So I've got both kinds. And the wool roving, you can get pretty reasonable. You can get some grab bags on Etsy. Sorry, hydrating. But you get some grab bags of wool roving on Etsy and get some interesting color combinations. So that's how I started to build my stash. And then a friend sent me some more. I do not paint the wool myself yet. I have, since I've started making dyes and inks with the plants in the yard, I do have some alpaca and shoot, I forgot what else. I've got some alpaca fur and something else that I bought that's undyed so that I can experiment with it, but I just haven't done it yet. Margaret, you have to get some journals made to submit to an exhibition starting on April 3rd, and you can't do much until you get home. So yeah, tea and ink dyeing papers. Oh, blood pressure is high. Yikes. That's not good. You need your art to help you relax, right? Let's see. And I try to not have the straight edges all lined up. So sometimes I'll come back in and give things a little haircut. Oh, dyeing the wool. If you're not, I don't spin, and I will. That's something I know that I will never do. I admire the people that do, but that's just outside of something that I really want to do. So if you're not going to worry about spinning it, I just, when I have not, this isn't wool, but that spooky stuff they'll put out in the dollar store at Halloween time to be like spider webs and stuff. I dye that just by sticking it in paint water or alcohol inks or distress inks, whatever you want. Oh, so not good. Just went up suddenly. Yikes, Margaret. I'm so sorry. I hope they figure that out soon so that you're not suffering. Hey, Sharon. You made it for the last part of it. See, I'm using our wonderful little plastic things that we fell in love with. All right, there's enough thread for one more. Doesn't take that much. Let's see. Cheesecloth dyes really well. In fact, I have cheesecloth somewhere. I love, this is cheesecloth. This is cheesecloth. There's some undyed. This is some strange netting. Holding it up to the iPad since it shows better. Some strange netting that they put out at Halloween time in the thrift store, or not in the thrift store, in the dollar store. And it's all cotton. It dyes really well with inks and stuff. Dirty wool. Yeah, I think I only buy the degummed stuff so that I don't have to do any of the kind of prepping things to it because I'm lazy like that. Wool with bits and pieces in it is right for us. Well, I'm never sure about, when they say dirty wool, how bad, how concerned I should be, I guess, about it. That's what I'm not sure about. So I've only been buying the stuff that's clean. I bought some raw mulberry, which was really cool too. So you're planning another dyeing straight session this weekend. You had a little play with a couple small pieces. Yes. It feels different, doesn't it? Working with fabric you've dyed yourself. Yeah, Jessica, I think you're right. It's straight off the animal. So I've just seen it listed as, degummed or, like you said, dirty wool. So I'm not sure, what kind of, like if that would bring more bugs in or something. Oh, just washing dirty wool is enough. Oh, okay. That's good to know. Because sometimes it's cheaper, right? Because the people that are selling it don't want to do the hassle of binding it or of washing it and carding it and whatever. Need to find more things to dye. Have you over dyed any of your commercial fabric yet? Because that's kind of fun too. Oh, bits of hay and stuff in it. Yeah. That kind of stuff for the things that I do would be fine, but it just depends on what you're working on. Don't know that I like that together. It's funny. Normally I go obviously for all the greens, and I guess I just didn't put that many in my drawer. Angora, thank you for the other mention. That was the other one I've got. I've got alpaca and Angora rabbit fur, but they've both been cleaned. Oh, and you got camel. That must be interesting. I have, I gave her a good brushing yesterday, Puro, to try Zoe's fur because she's pure white. And I meant to save a batch of it aside because it does. It's like when I get the underfluff, it's very, it's just really soft like wool. And then I started messing with trying to make cordage, and I forgot and I used it all up. So I'm going to have to give her another brushing. Angora goat, not rabbit. Okay. Yeah, I've got some fabrics. I mean, mostly it's clothes that I've cut apart, and it's kind of fun to over dye those. I don't want to make this one big. That's what I just discovered. I don't want to make it big. I'll make a little one. Yeah, I don't pass up the freebies either. I mean, why would we, right? We can use it. We can find some use for it. Nettie, sure. But there's lots you can do with the coffee and the food coloring. You know, I totally understand you got to be careful with the allergies. I wonder, Nettie, if you could use the watercolor crayons, the Carn Ash, however you say that. I don't remember how to say it correctly. Because you get so much of a crayon, you know, for your money. If you had a small set, and then you can sharpen it right into water, and you get lots of great colors. Yeah, Sharon, it does take a little bit of time to get that permission to use them. I don't know why it is that we do that to ourselves. We make it tough. It's like, oh gosh, no, it's so precious. But you know, don't let it be so precious that you don't use it, because you know, as you use it up, then you're giving yourself permission to make more stuff, right? You can make more fabric. All right. Hey, Lorna, happy to see you here for a little while. Go take some rest so you can go make some more beautiful journals and scan all those amazing French documents you got. She's going to have some great kits coming up, guys. Arlene, I do too. I prefer to use the old stuff, but I didn't know that at first, so I kept buying all this other stuff, and now I know that I really prefer to use the old things. Yeah, Margaret, the dog fur is just, it was so soft. I just didn't do anything yet. Yeah, Jessica, I feel the same way. Yeah, the Carn Nash, I never remember, but they are the best crayons. And I bought a big set years ago, and I never regret that purchase. And I wish that I had not bought all the other ones. Because it was like they're, you know, I'm trying to use up. I don't like gelatos and those other, and the oil pastels, the Crayola ones I used to, but I don't like those anymore. I just want to use the other ones. You got 3 or 4 sets of encyclopedias, 30 Reader's Digest. Wow. Yeah, right, Victoria. It would have been rude not to accept. A friend is sending me a box of about 20 books that she said they were falling apart, and she was going to toss them. I'm like, no, I want all that stuff that's falling apart. I want all the, you know, broken pieces of binding, and I want the covers because they were old books. So I'm excited. They should be here tomorrow, I think. Yeah, before I was doing any of this kind of art stuff, oh gosh, I can't even think about how many Reader's Digests we tossed from my grandmother's place. Wow. Hundreds. Ages ago. Made a knot. How did I do that? Yeah, they make really pretty covers for ephemera holders. Well, how did I manage that knot? That is just not right, Susan. That is not right. Get it out of there, I think. There we go. Whew. Close call. I still have so much scanning to do. I just keep putting it off, and I don't know why. I love it when we can find somebody and binge watch for a while. You just made book page snippet rolls from the encyclopedia pages, 3 times double spreads and a huge, nice. Yeah, I've got a full set of encyclopedias out in the garage that a friend gave me. I haven't done anything with the paper from it yet. I was just going to make more paper. I was just going to dump it in the thing to make more paper. Did you make a video on doing that, Sharon? I find like I get into this zone where I'm just doing this kind of stitching things and I'm thinking, oh, I got to do something with paint or I got to do something with glue. And I find myself not wanting to make the mess. I have no idea why. I'm such an expert mess maker. It shouldn't be an issue. Oh, I'm liking these. All right. So I guess it is a green kind of day. What a surprise. Let's see if we can do some purple. Purpley pink stuff. Because other people like other colors, right? Not everybody likes green. I don't know what's wrong with them, but not everybody likes green. Christina, bonjour. How are you? Thank you. Thank you. I hope you are doing well. What are you working on lately? How's that grandbaby? Guess they're not so babyish anymore, huh? Getting big. You made your first tag today? Okay, so I'm not too behind. Too behind. What are you going to do with the encyclopedias, Julie? Oh, that's cool, Victoria, that you can just binge watch on everybody. Love it if I'm part of your binge watch. Binge watch. Enunciate, Susan. Nettie, don't put any pressure on yourself. You do as much as you can do. It's not a race. Remember, none of this is a race. We're doing this because it's fun. Bye-bye, Julie. Hi, Laurel. Thank you so much for your kind words on my book. I appreciate that. Really grateful for. I'm going through. I'm slow on the comments. I am getting to them, though. Yes. Thank you, Victoria. Hydrating. I'm getting through all the comments, and I've actually started a Moments of Joy book where I am taking the comments that people leave me all over the place and putting them into that book so that when I'm having a day that I'm doubting myself, I can go take a look at that and hopefully get fired up again. What do we think? Do we like the pink with the purple? The light and the dark work? Bye, Maria. Thanks for hanging with us for a little bit. Join the Facebook group if you want to, hang out more when it's more convenient for you. Yeah, a joy jar. I love that. Barbara, that's a great name. Yeah, Laurel, that would be you, right? The Purple Creations would love the purple. Yeah, I think this is going to work. I need to really push myself doing these things with the different colors. I think it's important that we remember the kind words. We're so quick because the voices in our head, the ones we remember, are all the ones where, that art teacher said, oh, that's not good. That you shouldn't do this anymore. If you showed something to a family member and they say, what are you going to use that for? Those are the voices that we just keep thinking about, and we shouldn't do that. We need to remember the people that say, wow, that is awesome. I can't believe you did that. You made that. Those are the ones we want to remember. And so I used to do this years ago with my writing and reviews and stuff that I would get. And I'm going to do it again because I really think it's important for me to remember, because I forget. And then I start to beat myself up. and say, well, remember when so-and-so said, such and such. And it's like, okay, so-and-so said such and such 15 years ago, and I'm still letting them have real estate in my head. Yeah, Sharon, the moving of stuff does not come easily for me either. But, we need to think about what we want where and how we're going to use the things. This is too fat, isn't it? Let's make this a little smaller. So this is how I end up with all these little scraps. I just keep tearing things apart, and then I got piles of little scraps all over the place. Well, I am excited to get the new setup going so that we will have something as clear as the iPad with my face for where I'm working. I think the time of the webcam has come to an end. All right, what are we going to put on top of here? Ooh, we got some more purple. Huh. I like that one a lot. Maybe we need the thinner. Changing my mind here. Took you about 12 months to realize you were never truly happy in the studio down there. It's got to be the right space. When we bought this house, for like several years, I did not think I was going to have a studio space. I thought I was going to have like this little dark corner of the room, and it was just not going to be, a happy zone at all. And I kept trying to get myself in the right frame of mind to accept that was going to be the way it was going to be. So I don't know that I ever got there. So I'm glad that didn't turn out to be my spot. All right, maybe this is what I want right there. Very little simple stuff. You moved into a room with no storage, and you've had to work out what you want or need. Yeah, and my studio has no closets. I took the doors off the closet and put a table in there and some shelves, some drawers. Been at a makeshift desk in the bedroom now for 6 days, and you already know it's where you belong. It just feels right. See, you absolutely know. Barbara says, years ago, and for years, I worked with the ProGoff intensive journal process. One of the exercises to write something for now, the open moment. Most often it was a blessing to my future. Bye, little gypsy. Thanks for hanging with me. Barbara, that sounds similar to something I've been doing in this program that I'm in, where we write future letters to our future selves as though the stuff that we want to have happen has already happened. And it has been so powerful. Yeah, maybe it needs a little green. It might need, everything needs a little bit of green, right? Although, no, just a dap of it, just a dap. And so by writing these letters to the future self, nope, don't like the green. I think I'm going to just stay in tones, and then I can decide what book it's going to go in if it needs more of something. Oh, I know, it could have the neutral, my little fuzzies. Let's pull apart a little bit more of this. You too on the purple, huh, Margaret? I was a purple nut when I was a teenager, but planning on using your old space as a mixed media wet area. That's very smart, Sharon. I'm waiting for the weather to get nicer so I can set up the studio in the garage for the really messy things. All right, but just a little bit of the fuzzies, and we'll do it at an angle so we still see the purple. Victoria, I think sometimes we move things just so we can get reacquainted with our materials, at least for me. I need to get reacquainted with them every so often. Barbara, yes, it's powerful to live within those possibilities. Oh, I'm glad you pulled them out and put them in a Word file of their own. Penny, oh, you have a transformed garage, which is your studio. That's great. So your craft groups can meet there. 30 years, Piro. That's fabulous. Congratulations. Yeah, right now stuff's just drying all over the kitchen table. But we never sit at the kitchen table anyways, because it's just the two of us and we eat on our laps usually. Bye, Arlene. You take care. Well, my sweet husband has pretty much given me, the entire house except for his office and our bedroom and the master bathroom. I've got right now the desk that I'm in is in the living room. So I do, most of my work in here, and then the studios for laying stuff out and storing all the supplies. And then I've got the sunroom where I'm doing all the dyeing. You have a huge room that you're trying to figure out how to organize. Yeah, it's hard, Jessica. And you have to first figure out, which is what a lot of us have struggled with recently, is what kind of an organizer am I? Some people like to have things all nightly nice and tidy and hidden away. And some people like me need to have it out in the open so they can see it. And so because I like to have it out in the open so I can see it, I need to still make it, clean, which is hard. Okay, Terry, that did end up with a little bit of green in it. I didn't realize that I picked up, and that's fine. I think 30 is great. Where are we going to be this year? 2022 this year? This just happens to be a single strand of floss. I use all kinds of things. I use embroidery floss. I have crochet thread that I picked up at the thrift store. Sometimes it's the thread that's left on the end of the spool or the bobbin from the sewing machine. I am not a purist in pretty much anything I do. Oh, Carolyn's got a new studio. I'll have to go check that out. I haven't watched her channel for a while. I love studio tours. I always get ideas. Yeah, my paper had to be super, super in front of everybody, in front of my face so that I could see it. Hey, Thunder. Hey, Peg. How are you guys doing today? Yeah, Peg is an instigator, isn't she? She mentioned something and then suddenly got to do it. All right. And I still have thread. That's probably not enough thread to do something. All right. Maybe what I'll do now, I'm going to pull these guys aside. And let's just, these are some little tiny spines. I wonder if they'll work to do on one of the little mini, I forgot what tree this came from. I think they were in the gutter and I saw them and I couldn't resist. This looks like some silk from a sari ribbon. Yep, exactly. I understand, Barbara. Carolyn Dube, D-U-B-E, has this new studio tour up, is what Barbara said. Yeah, I always get ideas when I look at other people doing them. So this is the brain surgery part, wrapping the threads. Let's just wrap the threads. But, we always end up with those little bits of silk when we cut a sari ribbon or iron it or something. There's also something about seeing, most of the time when I watch studio tours, people talk about situations they were in that led them to do, an update to their room. And so I always learn things from that too. I'm pretty stuck with the furniture that I have where it is, just because my space, the actual studio space is not huge. Actually, and where I have these desks in the living room, this is the only place they can go. So it's more, I have too much. Vicky's Messy Table Studio is a great channel to go check out. I think she was just saying, Tunder, that she was sorry she got your name wrong the first time she said hello. I'm so happy now I can picture your face because you posted that picture in Tracy's group, and now I can picture your face. Sharon, you are too funny. And that's an old one. I got to do it again. I'd be afraid to have one of those organizers come to my house because I think they would tell me to get rid of stuff. And I have control issues. I know it. Big surprise. Okay, so Victoria's got something up on hers too. All right, so I can see the problem with these guys. They're going to be really flimsy, but that's okay. I just want to get some of this silk under there, around there. Yeah, they would tell me I'm a hoarder too. As long as my husband doesn't tell me that, I figure I'm good to go. All right, so I'm just going to tie some more. I'm going to keep this one all the same color. At least I think I'm going to tie a knot. All right, that does not want to work. So we need to untie a little bit. A year ago, I would have been so embarrassed at doing something on camera and having it not work out. So glad those days are gone. But also, I don't do the hard stuff here on camera for the first time. I learned that lesson too. Barbara, yeah, take everything out of the room and only put back in what you absolutely need or want. But I want it all. And for the longest time with all the renovations we were doing here, I would just hand something to my husband and say, put it in the garage, put it in the garage. And eventually we reached the point where there was no more room in the garage. So that's going to be my messy studio, but I have got to, my wet part of the studio, but I've got to get out there and make room, throw a lot of stuff out, take stuff to Goodwill. But it's too cold out there right now. I don't want to go out there when it's cold. All right, I'm going to let that stay loose because then I can have a little dangly bit. Okay, this one is entirely too fiddly. Working the small, and I don't have my glasses over here. Barbara, that's a good way to do it. And that's kind of what I did a few months ago. And I sold off a lot of supplies. And the only thing I had inadvertently put in a box that I sold off that I regretted was not expensive to replace. I had forgotten that I needed to use some charcoal pencils. And that was not a big deal to replace those. I just want just enough to tie it off. Collectors need stuff. That's right. Plus, you never know when that thing that you saved is going to be the exact thing you need to bring your project to life. At least that's what I tell myself. Myself might not be right, but that's what I tell myself. Okay, the trouble with this sari silk is it's not really a thread, so I picked one of the harder ones to do. It breaks pretty easy. But I can glue this on a page. It's very small, very lightweight. It'll be a nice little accent. And I think I'm just going to knot this one off. now. Everything brings you joy. I know the purging is hard, but I'm starting to look at things and say, okay, if I'm going to make these kits, these physical kits that I can, send out, what can I use? What can I make differently? What can I do? Use my stuff that maybe I'm not going to want to use myself, but somebody else can use. And so I'm looking at things that I've hoarded for too long that I'm not going to use. Penny, yep, that's it. All right, that's just a little one with some dangly threads. Let's see. All right, I'm almost coming up on my time here, but I think I'm going to do one more. This is, see, I save everything. Okay, this is a red twig dogwood stem that I had hammered, so it's all bent out of shape, and I'm okay with that. And I'll just do, let's see, something that's kind of long. Not normally an orange person, but let's do the orange. Yeah, all this to make tiny journals. Exactly. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny, the stuff that we save sometimes. All right. This will be the last one. Oh, scrapbooking paper. Yeah, I use the scrapbooking paper that I have left. I use for the jelly plate and for envelopes. They also, if the backs are, white, then I coffee dye them and they make good backing onto tags and things. Oh. Let's see. Don't even know the joy. What did I miss, Penny? Don't even know the joy that's awaiting you until you go do it. Spontaneous joy on the purging? No. Thank you, Tunder. I had such a good time making that. Yours are all double-sided. You don't like half of it. Yeah, bought it because it was on sale. Oh my goodness, we all have done that, right? We bought it because it was on sale. And when we're not using it, it's not such a good deal, right? Story of my life. But paint it, put a coat of gesso over it and stencil on it. That works too. Yeah, sale is a very dangerous word for a crafter. All right, what other color can we put on here? Let's put some brown in here. No joy in empty shelves. Yep. Oh, Sharon, that's horrible. Would have been a good drying rack. I have a rolling cart that I maneuvered other shelves onto it so that I can use it for a drying rack. Yeah, the latest video before this one, Piro, is my Nature's Whisper journal. That's the most recent one. And you guys have been awesome showing me all the love. Yeah, absolutely. Drop sheets are a great one because then you get all this other neat stuff on it, and then you can collage over part of it and cut them into pieces. All right, just wind this up here. I love using up these threads like this. This is just a great little accent to put into books. And we all have all those threads. So Barbara said she went through her 12 by 12 sheets, gave away a bunch of it, saved a bunch too. Then you had to get one of those little white stacker things from Michael's, which now holds all the paper. That's good. And you can have a place to store it, the paper, so you can see the colors you have. But I have a bunch of cardstock, and I need to start using that up too. I know, Margaret, it'll take me 100 years, but it's not the only thing I'm going to do with them. I've got a couple of other ideas to play with that should use up more of it. I find this just very relaxing to do, and I like having a few on hand. And like I said, these are going to go in the kits that I'm going to be making. Some of us have threads, but the others have toys. I have threads and I have toys and tools. I just bought a wood burning kit that will be here today. So I'm anxious to have some fun playing around with that. I've never done anything like that before. You only need a glue stick. Okay, that's coming up on my half hour, which is turning out to be a good time for me. So let's see what we got done today. So I got 2 little spirit sticks. Yeah, exactly, Margaret. That's a really great way to use up a bunch of it. And I've got tons of tulle as well. And I've got some of that dissolvable interfacing, or not, yeah. And I got a couple of other things to play with. Yeah, I've never done anything like that. No, Eva. I have not, Penny. I don't know who Eva is, so maybe send me a link. So there we go. I was not racing to get anything in particular done, but see, now I did one in this blue, and I had this. So now when I go to put it in a book, I might decide to add that to it. Whoops. I might decide to add that to it or not, but the things all go together. Soluble is, yeah, the dissolvable stuff where you can glue it down. All right, folks, I think that's it for me today. Thank you for hanging with me. And Sharon, if you know somebody good on wood burning, send me a link because I need to learn how to do that. Thank you, Laurel. I'm glad you were able to join us today. And I will see you guys next Wednesday at the same time, and see you in the Facebook group if you're there. Have a great day, everybody. Janet, thank you. Yeah, thumbs up. I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging with me. See y'all next week. Bye-bye for now. Yeah, I will, Victoria.